What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get to it. Don't forget to hit the like button and click the notification bell when you subscribe to the page. And look at that. Just like clockwork, there is another video appearing on my channel. Now, I'm having a major problem here. I'm having a major problem trying to understand why certain things are happening in the faction that it is. And I'm puzzled and baffled by it. We're having technical difficulties on my end a lot, and I'm, like, man, am I really that great? Did y'all care that much to try to sabotage the king? All right, so be it. But we move forward. And oh, yeah, we do have Rosario Dawson uncut on the Patreon for those who are interested. Now, this Chris Evans thing, I'm not a part of that at all. I understand it's a leaked Chris Evans video or something. I don't want that on my search engine. So, yeah, I won't be doing that no time soon. Now, let's move forward. The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he unfollowed almost everybody on the ground after he met with ownership today. He went in to talk to the team about the future of the organization, and they sat down to have a, basically it's like this is the end of the year, what they're looking for next year, where they're going, what they're going to do for his contract, and team's direction. Now, Giannis has 1 year, I think, left on his contract already. And, the Supermax is coming up where he's going to get about 254 million plus another 20 million he's going to get in like endorsements and stuff. So he's going to be making some money. Now, but he could that's a 5 year deal, but he could demand that they do a sign and trade if he don't want to be in Milwaukee. But he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Let me just tell you that right now. Giannis is staying in Milwaukee. He likes it where he's at. He's the main piece. He don't want to be one other guy on a team with a bunch of other superstars who feel it's their show too. Yep. Well, the thing is, the media wants to create this. This is why the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks was fined when he said it last year after the season was over that Giannis is going to get the Supermax, and the NBA came out and fined him because they don't want you to tell that you're actually going to do that. Because you're like, why wouldn't, like, what is wrong with him saying that we're going to keep Giannis and we're going to offer him the Supermax? Like, that's done. Like, why would we not offer him the Supermax? So the NBA is like, you can't do that. Why? Because they need to create the tension. Where's Giannis gonna go? What is Giannis gonna do? Is he gonna stay in Milwaukee? Is he gonna leave? Giannis looks real unhappy. He's got to be questioning the future of the team right now. He's getting older. Should he want to move and go out to California? They need that buzz. All of this thing being talked about. He's going to join Jimmy Butler and the Bucks. All this craziness. It gets more attention going to the league. All these stories they thrown out, even though they know it's BS, 90% of it is still talking about their league. They need it. So now it was a year ago they decided to let Michael Brogdon go in a sign and trade rather than pay him to retain him. So in the Heat against series against the Heat, they didn't have enough what you would say effective scoring in pressure situations. Malcolm Brogdon would have been a great asset down the stretch because he definitely was good at scoring in the clutch. But Brogdon, who plays for Indiana now, went out in the first round against the same Miami Heat. But Brogdon showed that he could definitely score, and he was a lot better than Bledsoe, who everybody thought would be the key piece that they needed to move up the ladder. Now, a lot of people think they should do a trade to bring in Chris Paul. Everybody wants Chris Paul, right? Who's willing to pay $44 million for an aging shooting guard? If you give him the contract, you're gonna have to cut out a lot of these ancillary players, these 1 year deal players, and try to make some moves to bring in Chris Paul. I would not see Chris Paul in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform. I just don't see it, ladies and gentlemen. Not in this future, not in any other future. And if you want to support my page, my Cash App is Carcino. That's Karceno. All right. Now, let's get to the meeting. No one knows what the meeting was about. No one knows what has happened in this meeting, except for after the meeting, Giannis unfollowed all of his Bucks teammates, about another 100 other people. He unfollowed almost everybody on the ground. So people said, oh, this meeting did not go well. Giannis is gone. So they scared right now in Milwaukee. They are scared. This doesn't mean anything, people. Let me tell you that right now. It means absolutely nothing. He could do that and still stay in Milwaukee. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's easy. It's not as complicated as you might think. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, but that's just one way of looking at it. So, they always have that end of the year meeting where they discuss the future of the team and where they're going. But by him unfollowing everybody on Instagram makes them think, oh my gosh, this is it. We're done. Now, you're going to be looking at a two-time most valuable player winner this year with Defensive Player of the Year and most valuable player in the NBA. And you looking at that person is eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, mostly due to injury, but still the Miami Heat did what they had to do to get rid of him. Now, when you start thinking about the future. Bledsoe has to go. Bledsoe was a good fit while it lasted, but he's got to go. Now, getting Chris Paul would improve a lot, but you're looking at a full season next year, starting late. But what are you really looking at? You're looking at a guy who's like 36, 37 years old, and Chris Paul playing every night as a starting point guard in the league, getting $44 million a season. He got 2 years left, 85 million left on his contract. Are you crazy? Now, I told you the 76ers are trying to get Chris Paul. Behind the doors, they're talking about a trade between Ben Simmons and Chris Paul. Joel Embiid doesn't want to go through another season with this experiment of the process. He's done that. And it's becoming frustrating to him. So you need a 36, 37-year old point guard who's guaranteed $85 million to come on your team. That's the snag that's holding him up from being traded. It's that people don't want Chris Paul. It's the fact that $85 million is the tag to get him. He got 2 years on his deal when Houston signed him to that ridiculous contract. You know, they did not get the most from Eric Bledsoe. He regressed in the postseason both years and has been one of the team's weakest links to the point where he was on the bench the majority of the time. He averaged 11 points a game, 6 assists, and about 5 rebounds per game. You can't have a starting point guard have those type of numbers. I mean, you can, but what is it really going to do for you? Now, he was credited for helping turn around the OKC Thunder, but Thunder was on their way anyhow. But he gave them a maturity and a stability at the point guard position, which made Alexander shine more as a loose guard who could just be a 2/1 and come in and be creative and a bunch of young players out there. He was the old veteran leadership, and he had people that was willing to listen to him, willing to sell out to say, okay, I'm here to listen to your leadership. You know what I'm saying? So I found that to be quite interesting. Now, everyone is like anxious for the Milwaukee Bucks to go to the finals next year. Other teams in the East are changing. You got the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant coming back, and that's going to be hell on wheels for you. Miami Heat already showed you that they're just going to get better. They're young and they're ready. Now you're looking at an entire different paradigm shift. What will Philly be like next year? The Boston Celtics, hey, they still there. So nothing's a cakewalk for Giannis or the Bucks. Just when Giannis comes back, other people are seeing like, oh, we can guard Giannis now. This is what you have to do to him, and then we could beat the Bucks. When they got in this bubble, they were never the same team that they were in the regular season. Who knows what would have happened if it wasn't for all of this? But you can't do woulda, coulda, shouldas, and what's done is done. What's done is done. Everybody's here now. Everybody's playing, so that's just that. Well, a lot of people are gonna be saying, "How could we get to this point? Like what's happening here? Let's go ahead and get to the situation. I don't. I'm confused. It's a lot of nonsense transpiring as far as making deals and this new agreement that the NBA is going to have. People forgot about that. But that new arrangement and deal that they got is going to torpedo a lot of other people's contracts. Like a lot of people, deals are up. They're restructuring. Is going to really hurt the league. So, well, we spoke yesterday about the actual. I think it was the Clippers who took their foot off the gas again, and it cost them. Now, the biggest question people are going to need to ask is what's going to happen to the Houston Rockets after this series? What is going to happen to the Houston Rockets? D'Antoni will be fired before he gets into his home. That's going to happen. After they get eliminated tonight, that game's going to get played later on tonight. They'll lose by 20, and they'll get blown out on the court, and they'll go home. And by the time they get home, D'Antoni will be fired. Daryl Morley will be fired probably sometime later during the weeks, but he'll be gone. Now, everybody's going to say, oh, it's because of the China situation. That's why they gone. No, the D'Antoni experiment does not work. You need to run a team. You need to have a team and play as a team. Small ball will win you a couple of games in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it's going to make it very hard for you to win, and it exerts a lot of energy. And in the fourth quarter, you've seen them fall apart in the fourth. Not some of the time, not part time, but all the time. So, yeah, I think it's the end for them. But we'll do more. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Hit the Cash App up, which is Carcino. Y'all already know that. So, love, peace, and hair grease.